Hello everyone, I am DV and I hope everybody's having a bomb-ass day. Now everybody, unfortunately with this coronavirus going around, first let me say this. Everybody please out there be smart and keep yourself safe. Now everybody, it is the end of March and if you're like me, you're a track guy or an autocross guy, and this is really the beginning part of the year where tracking really starts to come into play. But unfortunately with this whole virus thing going on around, unfortunately, everything's kind of been put on hold. So I thought, you know what, let me go ahead, come out of retirement, make a couple of videos, and hopefully for you guys out there who maybe just started tracking last year, or for those of you guys who have made 2020 the year that you guys go ahead and start tracking, maybe you guys can take as much information out of this video as you can, apply it to what you do on the track, and hopefully go ahead and make some improvements. Now everybody, my last track day was at Barber Motorsports with Jay Zilla in November of last year. The reason why that track day is important to me is because I shaved 2.5 seconds off my best lap time at that speedway when I went there last November. And the whole point and purpose of this video is to show you guys and tell you guys why. Now I'm going to go ahead and set this video up by using myself as a guinea pig. Now the most posed question to me is why I don't do what everyone else with a car channel on YouTube does and what other people in the car world do with my car. Very simply, everybody, it's because what you see in the car world does not function in the real world. What do I mean by that? Let me go ahead and explain. Now, before we get started, what we need to do is differentiate the real world from the car world. And the best way that I can do that is by giving you guys 2 examples and having you guys answer 2 simple questions. Number 1, let's go ahead and explain and show how things work in the real world. Take me and Lewis Hamilton, both at Barber Motorsports, both in 1LE Camaros. If you had to bet your entire life savings, who would you choose to pick to have the faster lap? You would choose Lewis Hamilton. But here's the most important question. Why would you choose Lewis Hamilton? You would choose Lewis Hamilton over me because Lewis Hamilton is better than I am, because his skill is better than my skill. That's how things work in the real world. In the real world, you are defined by your skill. Your skill determines what you are and how fast you can go. That's the reason why Lewis Hamilton is in Formula One and I drive a truck. Now let's go ahead and show how things work in the car world. Same example, only difference is put me in a ZL1 1LE Camaro, put Lewis Hamilton in a V6 1LE Camaro. Again, if you had to bet your entire life savings on whoever you would pick to have the faster lap, who would you choose? You would choose me. Why would you choose me? You would choose me because my car is faster. That's how things work in the car world. Your skill is irrelevant. Your ability to make your car perform is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is what your car can do. But everybody, I have a question for you. Matter of fact, I have 3 questions for you. Does it take any skill to have a fast car and go fast? Does it take any skill to put a supercharger on your car, go back out to Barber Motorsports and run a faster lap? Does it take any skill to have a V8 Camaro and go faster than someone in a V6 Camaro? The answer to every single one of those questions is no. Anyone that has a fast car can go fast. Anyone can make their car faster and go faster. Anyone can go faster in a faster car than someone in a lesser performing car. That again is the reason why Lewis Hamilton is in Formula One and I drive a truck. Now for those of you who are planning on making 2020 the year that you start tracking, if you go out there to that racetrack with that car world mentality of, I have a fast car, so that makes me fast, the moment you put all 4 wheels on that tarmac, you are going to be introduced to reality. Because everybody, the best way that I can illustrate this is very simply by showing you guys this. A few years ago, Tony Stewart and Lewis Hamilton swapped cars, part of a show that I think was like on TBS or something like that. Okay, Tony Stewart went from his stock car to Lewis Hamilton's Formula One car. Lewis Hamilton went from his first Formula One car to Tony Stewart's stock car. Now everybody, these are 2 of the greatest auto racing drivers in the history of auto racing. Highly trained, highly experienced, highly decorated. And if you watch that video, watch how freaking slow they were going the moment they swapped cars. And remember, everybody, the only thing they did is go from one car to an entirely different new car. And you see how slow they went. But you guys are meaning to tell me that without no training, without no experience, you're going to go fast simply because you have a V8 Camaro?
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
If the only way that you can go fast is because you have a fast car, that's because you're a slow-ass driver. If the only way that you can increase your speed and decrease your lap times is by making your car faster, it's because you're a slow-ass driver. If the only way that you can beat someone in a competition is if you have a V8 and they have a slow-ass other car, it's because you're a slow-ass driver. And I don't know about any of you guys that's watching me right now, but I have no desire and no interest in being a slow-ass driver. Wait. Hold up. I forgot to talk about one thing. Let's briefly talk about mods for a second. Modifications. Now, the most widely held belief is make your car faster. That turns out to make you better as a driver. Everywhere you go, you always hear this statement, my car can, fill in the blank. You always hear, my car can hit 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. My car can do a quarter mile in 12.4 seconds. You literally got people at car shows crip walking talking about what their car can do as if that means something. Because in the real world, the only way people will respond is asking you, can you make it do what you're talking about your car can do? Can any of you watching me out right now go out and make your car hit 60 in its claim time? Can any of you out there right now make your car do a quarter mile in its claim time? For all of my track rats and autocross junkies out there, can you take your car to any racetrack and annihilate it in this car lap after lap after lap? The vast majority of us cannot do that. Why can't we do that? It's because we cannot fully handle our cars. Why? Because here's the most important word again, ladies and gentlemen, we do not possess the skill to do it. Now, everybody, what is the easiest, most simplistic way to increase your speed and decrease your lap times? Horsepower. The end-all, be-all. He who hath horsepower, he who is the best. Now, everybody, I have said, and I don't know how many occasions, that I cannot handle this car. After 2 years of ownership, I'm right around probably like 50% able to handle everything that this car has to offer, from its horsepower to its grip, to its suspension, to its brakes, which is the reason why my car has remained stock. But everywhere you go, it is, I have more horsepower, that means I'm better. I add more horsepower, that makes me better. Okay, let's go ahead and analyze that statement for a brief second. Now, everybody, like I just said, I cannot handle the 455 horsepower my stock 1LE comes with. So someone please help me understand. How does adding more of what I can't handle to what I already have that I can't handle make me better? Since when in what reality does adding more of something that you can't handle make you better? For any of you guys and gals out there that who lift, if your max bench press is 200 pounds, I mean, you are struggling trying to lift that 200 pounds and you can barely do one rep. Have you ever hopped off that bench like, you know what? I can't lift this 200 pounds, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add 100 more pounds to it. Who in the heck would actually do that? You're not going to add that extra weight because you're not strong enough to lift it. You're not going to add that extra horsepower because you're not good enough, skilled enough, able enough to utilize it. Now, everybody, the reason why I was able to shave 2.5 seconds off my personal lap time is because I got better. How did I get better? It's because I started to make good improvements on 2 areas I know that I struggle with. 1, hand placement. Number 2, having a tendency of pinching the corner. Now, I'm gonna break each one of these down one by one so you guys will get a better illustration of what I'm talking about. Now, I know some of you guys are probably sitting there puzzled like, wait a minute, did this fool just say hand placement? Yes, I just said hand placement. Anybody out there who doubts the importance of hand placement clearly has not been on a track. Now, if any of you guys and gals out there watching me right now are a fan of Motor Trend, watch Randy Post when he goes out there and does a hot lap. In my humble opinion, he is one of the greatest manipulators of hand placement I have ever seen. Does not matter if he's in an automatic, and it doesn't matter if he's in a manual. His hand placement is always spot on anytime he's on the track. Because what good hand placement allows you to do is smoother transitions, smoother gear changes, and everybody who tracks knows that smoothness equals speed. Now, for those of you maybe who have just clicked on this video, maybe watching me for the first time, if you don't value the importance of hand placement, last year at Road Atlanta, at my first track day of the year, I blew my motor because I money shifted from third to second. If those of you haven't watched those videos, I've placed the link right on the top right hand portion of the screen. And when you watch that video, you will say exactly what everyone in the comment section of that video, including myself, what led to me money shifting. It's because of bad hand placement. Now, from then up until my last track day of 2019, I made improvements. I changed my hand placement to the point now where I never have to worry about going from third to second. But in doing so, I've picked up a rather not so really bad habit. Now I don't have to worry about going from third to second. Now I have to worry about going from second to fifth. Now, for those of you who have watched my track videos since then, you guys have pointed out me misshifting. That comes with the territory. Every time you change something about your routine, it's going to affect something else. When you change one thing, something else down the line is going to change. So in essence, I've traded a bad habit for a not so bad habit. But in time, I'm slowly progressing out of that to the point where I don't have to worry about it. Now, some of you are no doubt wondering, what does pinching a corner mean? Well, everybody, pinching a corner basically means making a corner smaller. You're pinching it, you're squeezing it. You're not taking advantage of all the available real estate that corner has to offer. Now, my very first instructor laid this out to me beautifully by saying it in one simple phrase. Try to make every corner as straight as possible. Because the longer that your wheel is turned, the slower you're going to be going. And if you're slow into, through, and out of a corner, you're in essence slow on track. Now, everybody, I can admit this. I have always feared the curbing on racetracks, like turn 5 at Road Atlanta or turn 11 at Barber Motorsports, even though they are literally there to help you, number one, as excess tractor runoff, but number two, help you hit your apexes. And there is one very specific reason why I have always feared the curbing on racetracks, and that is simply because I do not look through the corner. And the best way that I can explain that to you guys is by showing you guys this video of Kevin Magnussen, who is a Formula One driver in Formula One. Check this video out and it'll give you a good representation of what I'm trying to illustrate.
The footage you're seeing on screen is from Kevin Magnussen's simulator session from 2014. What I found absolutely crazy was where exactly his eyes are focusing, which you can see by the red cross hatching. Where most people would be looking to braking markers or the apex of the corner they are about to face, Kevin is already looking to the exit of the corner or already towards the next one. According to driver training experts, having the corner you're about to face in your peripheral vision, the blurry stuff you see, and the exit of the next corner as your absolute focus helps you to prepare more readily for what is about to come, something I found extremely difficult to adapt to.
Now, 2 years ago, I was at Road Atlanta with a fellow 1LE owner who I've tracked with before. And every single time we were on that track, I would always be with him on the straights. I would always be with him as we entered the corner. But as soon as we started our track in, he would always leave me in his wake. Why? He was able to carry more speed and more momentum into, through, and out of those corners than I was. He was able to utilize that extra speed and momentum by taking a better driving line, hitting his apexes better, and actually utilizing all the available real estate he had to offer. Now, for those of you who have already watched my last track video of 2019, and maybe for anybody who's just watching me for the first time, watch that video. I'll go ahead and click it in the top right-hand portion of the screen, and you guys can go ahead and watch that video, and you can see me starting to make little minor improvements on those two areas of my hand placement and, of course, looking through the corner and being able to utilize all the available real estate. day, and you will see just how much of an improvement I made just to get 2.5 seconds off my previous lap time. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I improved leaps and bounds. Oh, no. Because if you watch that video, there was still a lot of speed and time left out on that track. But the point of the matter is, you saw how much just a little bit of improvement can make in your speed, in your time, when you realize what you're doing wrong and go out there and make improvements. Now, for anybody out there, if you want to approach tracking like the Car Wolf does it, do your thing. I'm happy for you. But if you want to approach it with the I have a fast car, that makes me fast mindset, you need to understand something here. You are literally missing the whole entire point and purpose of a track day. The whole entire point and purpose of a track day is for you to get better, to be able to make your car perform better, which will equate to you having a better lap. That's the whole entire point of a track day and what every single track rat and autocross junkie does when they hit the track. But at the end of the day, it's always about doing what's best for you and your situations. But I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope everybody's having a bomb-ass day, and everybody stay tuned for that new upload.